All right. Oh, let me get into this lobby. Oop. Amplify will start us on the left, so I'll get those side swaps here for you. But that does bring us to your map pool for today. Ilios, Kings Row, Colosseo, Cervasa, and Circuit Royale. Here for your NA Expert Wednesday matchup. Oh, it's Coach Dots. Ah, I see. I see. Buckethead indeed in, the newest player here for Boot Troop, pulling out that Widowmaker right out of the gate. That was looking like pretty standard affair. We'll get a little rollout with the teleporter, swap to the Tracer, or Genji, actually. That makes more sense. The Tracer getting a little bit of nerf. Genji has been much more in favor as of recently. I don't think that's the only reason behind it, but I know it's the one we're going with here right out of the gate. Beautiful shot from Buckethead. He's already found a pick. He's already given an advantage here to Boot Troop early in this fight. Let's see what they can do with it. Kind of playing out of the pit. Star is going to a little bit of back and forth there with Gap on the other side. Bit of range picked up here as Nick is trying to close this distance against against Buckethead. Goes in. Bit of a duel. Kind of a dance around there for a minute as they both back out their respective sides. Still nobody has Cap on this point as Gap is now getting pressured a bit. Nick comes back to peel. Star throwing in damage here from the high ground. Rocking the fuel racing. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. I'm a fan. Burn blue. Oh, and might end up surrounded. That pick can be so difficult to find out if I stuck the camera behind a pillar. That was dumb. A couple of quick picks here as Buckethead and Consta get into the mix. And finally, first cap here from Boot Troop. Buckethead and Star leading an ult charge here in the server. Ooh, that's an aggressive move from Consta right over the front. Okay, trying to get back behind the defense. Ooh, Winner gets a good pick here from that top left-hand side. Has to back away as Consta's threatened high ground. A body shot their direction. Meanwhile, Terra Surge thrown in here from Star. Phantasma can't block that. Ghost is just smashed. Just standing there with their shield up like it's going to do something. Winner finds another kill throughout this exchange, though. Their second of this fight. Nick goes down, so they're the only DPS left here. Gap is going to throw a Terror Surge in. Gets a little bit of damage into Consta. Star getting topped up as they fall back to the point. 50% here and counting for Boot Troop as Winner invests the Infrasight. Buckethead responds. Both orbital rays thrown into the mix. Gap is able to find Exode as the blade is pulled out from Consta in the backline. Oh, immediately shut down. Phantasma has had enough of your sass. Good stall here from Star. They're able to get to about 75%. Traffic Gem will go ahead and yeet themselves onto the point as well. Four ults from both sides throughout that fight. Nick does hold on to the blade here. Could just make quick work of this next one, although you are indeed running into a rally on the other side. There it is, up to the top. He's going to go right for the Widowmaker. 1/2/ there onto the Widow. But Consta will put it down. Rally is popped here from Tropic Gem, and they're going to use the back of that to move forward and see if they can clean up on the rest of this fight. Still no sniper for Winner to worry about. Has kind of free reign at the squish he's pushing in. They can't find one on the approach. So Boot Troop are able to push past the point, reclaim the objective. Woo! Costa dashes in too deep, though. Caught in the tunnel. And now, here comes Amplify. Push it in with a 5v4 advantage. Star drops in behind Gap. Gap is just going to continue pushing up into that back line. Still, Tropic Gem is able to get a couple of packs down onto Star and keep him up, but Winner has that important pick onto Exode, so Stars kind of now or never here if you're going to pull this one off. Unfortunately, they end up just spinning themselves there through that ultimate. Point flips over. Buckethead finds consequence. Crash out for Constant. Light, thank you for the follow. Coach Light in chat. All right, that's sights up from Winter. Buckethead still about 10% away. Ooh, looking for that Widow in the back. Trying to thread the needle. Terror Surge thrown in from Gap. Yeah, but they don't want to overstay their welcome. They're just going to hang out here behind this middle block. Now with the orbital ray, here comes the big push in from from Amplify. Exode looking to counterpunch with one of their own. Oh, and just run down Gap. Gap just absolutely falls over. Never mind Branket, the ankles just separated from them entirely. Flip comes through at 99%. Nick eats a javelin right through the dome. And that's going to be Boop Troop closing out round 1. Mackin, thank you for the raid. I appreciate you, my friend. Rhapsody coming through with the follow. Is that my goat, White Chio?
Ready for battle.
Ended up being a really close round 1, despite Boot Troop kind of getting a huge lead early. But because of that huge lead, when they get like 75% right out of the gate, they will kind of just tilt the balance there at the end to come out on top. Okay. Nick onto the Echo here, so no Genji for this second round. The duplicate, you know, not necessarily, I mean, could be as impactful as Blade, depending, I suppose, on what you do. But I mean, with 2 Erases in, but, yeah, the tank dude, not really a thing. Oh, we do have Buckethead on the Ashe as well here. So definitely some different looks out of both of our DPS lines. Nice little coach going to keep themselves on solid ground. Meanwhile, nobody... Oh, Gap gives up the point for free just there at the very end, steps off. I was just about to say no one had been able to cap, and I thought with our Arisa staring at each other from that corner, it would take a minute. So Gap is going to go ahead and make a move. No longer content to just stand around, and Nick ends up popped. Buckethead's going to land that shot, still being able to stand up here on top of this lighthouse. Comes up with a couple of picks before it's all said and done, and Boop Troop win the fight as well. Gap's going to make a swap on over to a D.Va. JJ, thank you for the follow. I feel like that echoes right above me. All right. Go through top left side. Gap is holding down the front line while the rest of the team is kind of pushed around through the cage. That map try to regroup. Meanwhile, Winter has moved in, got a lot of damage on the constant, but just doesn't have access to that high ground. Can't push up to threaten the 3 players that Buckethead and the 2 supports, keeping them alive up here. Nick does a little bit of a flyby, ends up back down low. Looks like calls made to try to focus Star. They'll find Star mid-ultimate. Orbital Ray thrown in here from Amplify. Blade from Constant. Where do you go with it? Ends up trying to chase down Nick in the back. Just cannot get anything. Nick is going to go over the top. Pulls out a Genji of their own. Bob thrown in from Buckethead, and that's a lot of damage thrown into that duplicate. Find the final blow on to Nick as well with that headshot. And the rally keeping Boot Troop alive through all of that. Amplify with one last shot here on this map. You need to win this fight here. Don't have a whole lot to work with, but Winter does land the pulse. There's a rally in the back pocket, so I guess they have more to work with than their opposition. Scratch that statement before. Nick finds Constant with a good focusing beam. Can't deflect that one. There's the flip. Ooh. Hey, you know what? Amplifier even pretty judicious about it. Don't have to throw a lot of ultimates at that fight. Star with the swap landed a punch, rally in from Ghost, and just headed right back across this line. Nick with a beautiful set of stickies is going to take down Exode. Doesn't quite find the stick on that one. Constance has swapped over to a Tracer. Thought about pushing around that left-hand side. Decides to peel back here and force Gap away. Gap trying to push up to the top, see then keep pressure on the Buckethead. Buckethead hasn't quite been able to kind of get situated as we saw throughout the first couple fights, where they'll have all of that damage, all of that output. Finally, looks like Gap is going to leave them alone there on that high ground. Here comes the orbital ray. Gap still very low on health, and Ghost is the one that falls. Meteor Strike now out from Star. Looking to land on two. There's a lot of damage to Consequence through that. Gap trying to back up. Star goes for the ladder. Self-destruct used, but Gap will not get back in mech. Star ends some of the business into that self-destruct. Somehow, both tanks are now out of this fight. So Mr. Butler is thrown in to get the flip. Costa and Exode coming up with kills. Nick falls into the Gap. And the overtime looks to fade away. One last dish effort from that pulse. It's all that we will see. Boop Troop take map 1 and a 1-0 lead.
No one can hide from my sight.
Okay, Buckethead. Damn, what an opener. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. Dr. Diddy. I don't know, Dr. Didi? Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Look at some stats there from map number 1 as I accept this invite and get in the lobby for map number 2. Oh, and they are wasting 0 time. So you got minimal time to look at these stats. Oh, and of course it resized my window, so not even all the stats are on screen. I hate it when it does that. Don't resize my window for me.
Initiating match.
There we go. Now we can get some Gap stats. Gap stats. That's all you get. All right, Midtown Band out here from Boop Troop. We're headed to Kings for map 2.
Ready for battle.
A little bit of the old fastball here. Oh, and my margins broke. God, everything's just breaking for me today. I thought I had that fixed too. Unfortunate. Unfortunate.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers infield. Defend objective A.
Costa pulling up the far here for map 2. Ooh. Nick already kind of caught down here. Ends up too far in front of Hotel. Oh, it just gets absolutely separated from the team. What a great isolation there from Boop Troop to kick off this fight. And it is a very quick pair of kills and starting to gain some progress. Now, Gap does make it out, so it looks like there should be time for a recontest here. Coach Dodd said the political debate really helped them lock in here. Nice spear up to the high ground, and here comes the recontest. Fortify used early. Looking for something in the back. He's still got Constant just pouring rockets in. He's got to make Gap's life difficult. There's the Cap with tank down. No chance of a recontest. Ooh, Nick. No cooldowns. Yeah, not going to make it out of that one alive. Star's specialty, to be honest. Great, thanks for the follow. Ow. Alright. Up to Amplify to come try to take this thing back. Coral, thank you for the follow. Do have a Terror Surge to work with. Nothing to combo with it just yet, but you do have Orbital. Bob and Rally not too far behind. Let's give me the Terror Surge thrown out early. Just throwing it out dry. Rally used to try to heal up through it. I think Boop Trooper just going to try to muscle through. Orbital Ray is thrown in from both sides. Who's going to get to fighting there? So looks like Boop Troop with the later Terror Surge amidst their Orbital. Get that extra bonus damage on it. And light up the feed. They're going back over to the Echo after having a couple of rough runs there on the Genji. Not able to get a whole lot done against this far of Consta. Trying to move in through the top. Got some early damage down on the Buckethead. Buckethead does get the Bob out into the battle. He's just kind of at the back of the point at the moment. And here comes the return. Bob just hanging out on the divider. Bob forced back so they can't contest, but still the card to stop with 12 centimeters to go. Tropic has to chase Nick out of there. Defense holding for now. Gap is forced off. That is a barrage thrown in. Nick is able to take it down. Ends up being a 2-for-1 trade, favoring the defense. They're able to melt Star down as well. So the one advantage was the tank was still left on the battlefield there for Boot Troop. But Phantasma and Nick make sure to equalize here so this defense can stabilize. What's that? Nick with a very aggressive move into the back. He's going to drop in, duplicates the Ash of all things. It does get above that 100 health mark. I don't think they initially had it. But it does put enough pressure downward, forces Boot Troop back around the corner. All five kind of hanging out in front of Bookstore. Don't think we're going to get the bonus Bob. Nope, in fact, we will not. Now the speed back in. Orbital Ray out for both of our teams. Once again, Terror Surge combined with it. Oh, Star doesn't get much with that one, though. Gap gets the bonus damage this time around. Finds two. Ooh, but Star's trying to clap back. Picks up Consequence and Winner. And it's a 3v3 left here on this point. Buckethead is picked off, giving the advantage to this defense. Yep. Had a brig left for both teams, but now Ghost is the only one standing. Constant with the godlike Pharah. It wasn't godlike enough here. A little bit later. Makes a swap over to a Tracer. Try to finish off this point. Buck 43 left on the clock as Star lands that big javelin in. Not enough damage to follow up on it. Just a bit of a check there. Oh, speaking of a check. Now that is a statement out of Winter. Costa headed to high ground. What's going on down here back on main? That's Bob throwing in over the top. Winter looking in, trying to make the best of it. Rally down low. Ooh, Winter's go get Star anyway? Oh my. Nice headshot on a Buckethead, but I don't think they're in a position to follow up on it. 45 seconds, roughly, left on the clock here. And despite, I mean, it was such a fast point A. I mean, tons of time in the bank heading into this point C. Amplify have managed to shut the door on this. Now have another Terror Surge ready to go. Gab not able to get as much done with that one. Nothing to really combo with it. Consequence makes it around the corner of Star. Star's just going to let this one get up to 500. But Winter finds Exode amidst all of that. Nick with a duplicate onto the brig. And just forcing everybody back. There's the Bob in, looking for the counterpunch. 10 seconds to go. Costa's got to stay alive. Dashes through into the pub. Back out on the objective. Orbital Ray thrown in here from the defense. Recall is there. Costa's managed to stay on this point. Ooh, and the Orbital Ray here from the offense is going to follow through into the bulk of the team fight. Really well played there out of Boot Troop, making sure they get max value out of that Juno ultimate. They're able to rush through the orbital on the other side. I don't know if it's going to be enough for the cap. This is going to be close. There could be an opportunity for a recontest here. Looking at the spawns. Ooh, no, never mind. Never mind. This is going to be second point on the board. One on the high ground out of the gate. Nick holding low at Mega. So both DPS are kind of sitting on top of each other to control the back flank angle. I think Dynamite throw it in. Constance managed to get underneath. Nick snag the Mega, force out recall. Looking good here with Constance in this duel on the outside. Here comes the Brig to help out as Ghost overextended doing so. Consequence has gone down, so Gap doesn't have a whole lot of sustain. Constance rejoins the fight on the front line to find that kill. Star now able to push forward, looking for exit picks. Doesn't land the Javelin. Everybody from from Amplify, it'll just kind of duck around here. Nick looking to see if they can even up. Does get the recall out. Doesn't have any blinks. Back up into that duel. Keeping Constant in check, knowing Constant's got that pulse bomb ready to go. Defensive Bob thrown right on the corner. Star will eventually put it. Nope. No, okay, it did just go in the hole. I thought the second one might have just jumped the gap. Terror Surge from Star. That's looking big. Yeah, everybody was low before that Terror Surge was pulled. So it doesn't take long for that Terror Surge to get up to a lethal percentage. And there is the cap. 9.7 seconds, importantly, left in the time bank here for Boot Troop. And they entered point C on OT. They entered point C with 90 seconds on the clock. Managed to win some important fights there in OT. It was looking like Amplify might have been able to make a stop way back on the second point. But good momentum carried through. Hey, clear that corner. Constant sticking with the Tracer here on the defense for Boot Troop.
3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
All right, where's... Okay, you see the Tracer holding that top right high ground. So looking to kind of cut off the stairs. You can see Phantasma starting to move up that direction, and the recall has been forced. So Phantasma could have the edge if they want to go take that duel. Nick is going to come join, and there goes Phantasma looking to take it. Yep. Nick trying to push up there. Okay, no, kind of gives up on that one. And as such, they are not able to get Constant. Constant just gets out. Is still hanging up on that top high ground. Putting a lot of pressure on the Gap as they're trying to move inside of house. Gap is looking a little out of position. Just kind of towing the line there on the point, but has sightlines on both healers. Does get topped up and manages to move inside. Winner, on the other hand, now sitting at about 1 health. Good shot. Finds Costa. That's the opening that Amplify needed. Now with the flank clear, everybody's got eyes focused forward. Ooh, Buckethead with a very aggressive position, but Nick will make him pay. Dash into the back line to find Tropic Jim. That should solidify this point. I don't think there's time for a recontest here. Consum, ooh, in a risky spot. Wants to go in and take Winter out of the back, but looks like Winter's able to hold on through that. Dynamite lands, one body shot. Consum's still behind you. Coach got back around meanwhile. Star has managed to get a pick on this point, so they managed to keep Winter out of the fight long enough to get some kills. Now the response with the orbital ray, Bob thrown in the lieu of being, just lacking teammates, but it's just Buckethead in this window. Buckethead has lit up everybody from up top. I should have gone to their POV a long time ago. What a recontest. I didn't think they were going to be able to do it. Consta is able to get the stall, delay long enough. Consta really just moved in and kind of delayed Winter, kind of kept Winter out of that fight so Star could go in and stall. I think it's more accurate. Thought they might try to drop the pulse inside that house. There was a couple players looking a little bunched up, but Consta didn't like what they saw. Ooh, Star ends up all the way up at statue though. It just ends up picked off with only one tick needed. That will be point A.
Objective lost. Stop the pain.
Watch Buckethead sneaking around there. Gonna perhaps pop up top for this. Yep, there it is. The pop up top. There's the Bob. Star's going to move in on the back of that, as is Consta, as they reclaim the archway. Good disengage there from Amplify, though. No fatalities on that. Keep an eye on Consta in this window. They have managed to get a little bit of space here. Nobody's really looking up there at the moment, but Consta doesn't have Blade or anything. So here comes the speed ring engage. Kind of stopped in its tracks here by Star. Star will eventually pop that Fortify very late in this exchange so that they can hold here a bookstore. Terra Surge traded out for both squads. Rally's thrown in simultaneously as well. Fight starts to move back a little bit. Orbital Ray thrown in from both teams. Ooh, and I think this one's going to push back around the corner. I think Amplify had the better positioning on this Orbital Ray. You can see Star is desperately just trying to stay in that 100 HPS healing. Hey, it's good enough! Tropic Gem is able to at least get one. Still a player advantage for Amplify on this point. Star not able to stay on their feet. And that's going to be the difference maker. With the late Bob from Winter piling on some extra damage, extra players in that fight. Now, if you haven't saved anything here to cap this with, a good pick would go a long way here in this exchange, but Cap's not quite able to fight it. You can see Consta not even threatening enough to back away, staying right in the face of this Orisa. There's the push in. Buck 45 on the clock as the Amplify backs up to the previous corner. Not even relatively close. I mean, Consequence is the closest thing to an ultimate behind this Terra Surge. So Gap just goes yeeting in, hoping they can get something with it, perhaps separate them out. It does. It's enough to force Constant into a bad position, and Winter is able to take advantage. Catch them out while they're outside of cover. That's going to be a Bob from the high ground. Runs into the corner of the objective there, but it's still enough to kind of force Amplify to all corners. Keep an eye on Nick here on this top side. See if they're able to do anything with this Orbital Ray. Returning Orbital Ray thrown in. Where's this fight going to take place? Star gets some good damage on that one. And Gap never able to kind of break through the barrier to find the value. Just a reminder, though, it took Boop Troop until the overtime to cap on point B themselves. So really, Amplify is kind of on track. Obviously, this is a must-win fight situation. Consta found out, does go ahead and pop out with the blade. Rally to reinforce it. Ghost is still a little bit far away, gets the boot back, and Gap is just too much to try to whittle through. Consta forced to use that deflect just to get away. And then here comes Amplify. They want to run down the front line. Winner playing off this top right-hand side, gets 1 kill. Gap still playing down low to try to get towards the rest of this ultimate. Rally still in the back pocket here for Amplify. Is got a couple players going to force Consta back. Now coming in to rejoin the fight. Whittled down a bit and low on health. I'm not sure Boom Troop are going to be able to recontest it, but Star's going to give it their best effort. Gosh darn it. So pushing into point C with the same exact amount of time that Boop Troop had. Amplify now have a couple of ults to work with as well. Nick swapping on into a Genji to return back into this fight. There's the speed boost. Nick finds the kill. Gap is able to kind of circle around back behind Star. Star's just taking damage from all sides. Ends up with their back in a corner. The rest of Boop Troop just coming out to stall for as long as possible. Try to whittle down this clock as much as they can. Try to buy time for Star to respawn. Star's out. Terror Surge is in. Star uses the Fortify just to rush past. Bob thrown onto the back of the point. Orbital Ray in here from the attacking Amplify, and Consequence is able to get a kill on the back of it onto Star, no less. So sustained at a premium, running out, and Amplify actually cap with 5 more seconds left in the bank. We're headed to extras with about $1 each. Not much for either team to work with, frankly. Okay, so Nick going over to the Genji here for, or excuse me, to the Tracer here for this defense, and not on the Genji. We got caught out early in that first defense, ends up kind of getting forced into a bad spot and was first dead first time around, and it led to a very, very fast one and done here for Boop Troop. Nick playing very safe on the back end of the stairs just to prevent a high ground cap. So far, it looks like Boop Troop are just going to try to pressure Gap as they just playing around statue. Nick is going to go ahead and make that jump across. Consta putting pressure in from those top stairs. Gap already forced back to the back of Hotel. Star's not even going to bother going to the house. Star just goes right on to the point. All guns pointed in Gap's direction. Oh, and you forgot about Nick in the back. Nick is able to sneak in underneath. Finds 1 DPS. A flurry of headshots on the Buckethead. Buckethead escapes into the house. Star at half health and trying to disengage. Looks like... Oh, Buckethead! No way! Oh, Buckethead got Consta there. Oh, gets Nick! Gets Nick! There it is. Buckethead's going to move on to the point. Needs to stay alive for 0.5 more seconds. Does not get the overtime initiated, but there's Consta there. Star has returned as well. Gap will go down, and Buckethead with the hero play of the map. You have got to be kidding me. What on earth did we just see? That wasn't supposed to happen. That wasn't supposed to happen. Keeping an eye out for Nick. Nick is playing low left. Not anywhere close on that flank just yet. Does have a pulse bomb here to try to stop this cart. Now sitting behind the rest of the team. Just very safe positioning here from Nick out of this one. The patient push here from the attacking team looking to build up ults. Have Rally ready to go. Gap now has a Terra Surge. Nick now thinking about trying to creep around through a house. Eyes kept out. Here goes the move from Nick. Does Boom Troop put it into play? Do they try to push? That was their moment. They didn't even know it. Nick still creeping in. Comes in with the pulse. Throws it in with the Terror Surge. Trying to combine to find a kill with it. Rally is now out here from Boom Troop. And they're going to throw Bob. Rally. I mean, oh my goodness. Barrage. Everything in the kitchen sink just yeeted into this point. Dust going in all directions. And Boom Troop coming up with all the kills. As that dust settles, it's 5 players still standing here for the Troop of Boop. Oh, hey, yeah, why is that score blank? Oh, because my numlock got turned off. That's what happened. The map number is also blank for that same reason. All right. A fight win here for Boop Troop. Good. I mean, already they have pushed so far. But if they can get into the Foundry, no, it might just be match point here. This Gap is used Fortify early just to get away from that Terror Surge. Now a Fortify thrown in here from Ghost. Bob from the back. Oh, booped off the point there by Star. Still, Star will get battered down. Don't need that extra body to contest. And the defense will hold. If Boop Troop go on to win this series, I mean, it is bucket goat. It is bucket goat for the win. What a clutch play in overtime when everybody's getting forced back. The Ash stays high ground, stays behind the team, and waits for the perfect moment to pop out and get that shot in onto Consequence. Take the Juno out of the fight early, eliminate the speed from that defense, gets a second pick from up top, and puts that defense in just complete disarray. One of the most clutch plays I have seen all season. Jiggleburger crashing out. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Constant on the Tracer playing here in Hotel. Maybe 2 tries here for Amplify to get this done. Everybody playing low. See if they can pressure out Star. Nick is headed up to the high ground. Immediately punch back down there by Tropic Gem. Give me a rotation all the way to this right-hand side from all players on high ground. Star's still trying to push out. Ooh. And I pushed it through the window. Sorry about that. Ooh, Star and Costa are in here very deep. This is a risky play. Costa is going to back out. I don't know if Star's going to make it out. Consequence is low. Nick with the dash through. Costa will find that kill onto the Juno. And it's a disengage with no Juno. 10 seconds on the clock. Everybody outside of spawn here from Amplify. Winner taken down from Consta on the outside. It's up to Nick to try to touch. Buckethead gets the kill. Gap looking to make it. Will not. Boop Troop, hang on. And on the back of one of the most clutch plays of the season, take King's Row and move up to match point. There we go. Stats from map 2. My goodness. Buckethead with a hell of a map. A lot of deaths, I will say, but leads the server. Oh, almost leads the server in damage. Almost out damage Gap on the other side. Not quite, but holy cow. Definitely leading in the DPS department. Although Winner not too far behind. Winner not too far behind. Buckethead did lead in elims as well, although the Dynamite can have a big part of that. All right. Esperanza band out here for map number 2. Oh.
Ready for battle. Five, four, three, two, one. Objective unlocks in 30 seconds.
Oh, okay. Star's gonna pull out a Ramattra. We haven't seen a whole lot of Ramattra since the changes. We have seen quite a bit of Sojourn, but Buckethead immediately put down. Gap was tired of you taking over there in map 1. And immediately finds that kill to Buckethead. Here, or map 2, rather. Now we're in map 3. It's Gap with a pair of kills, both DPS falling under the Orisa. Good start here for Amplify. Whoop. Star off the Ramattra, now onto the Winston. Oh, I'm just looking surrounded. And just kind of puts you into an awkward support lineup. Star does make it out with a little bit of health, finds the Mega, getting topped up. Oh, Winner with a great pick. Oh, a pair of them! Back-to-back headshots onto both supports. What a pair of shots. They're out of Winner. Still knows Constance behind him.
No one can hide from my sight.
Whoop. Eventually give it chase there. Rally popped here from Amplify. Oh, but Nick is way too far to receive any benefit from it. Let's get to some Gap pop here. Consequence with a bit of a clap back. Despite being down, Nick in this fight. Ooh, there's a swift step just in time out of Tropic Gym. We're able to avoid disaster there. Eventually, Amplify just give up on this when they're just going to back right out. Kind of rotate back to Arches. Ooh, it's going to push in onto Buckethead. Star finds the sniper out of the back line, but Gap continues to try to push forward, looking for anybody they can. Has an orbital ready to back them up. Continue to rush on the other side. Buckethead with an overclock and a rail. Oh, couldn't quite land the ladder. Cost is able to get some work done on this Tracer, though, and what is a pretty messy looking fight. Ends up going pretty favorably in Boob Troop. The JBE effect. I was not trying to go to the Winston pop, thank you. Whoa! As we see Constant drop a hell of a bomb in from the paw of Consequence. Now Nick in a little bit of trouble. Whoop. Followed Buckethead up to the high ground. I don't think Buckethead knew they were there. They eventually knows they're there. Still has an overclock to work with. Oh, where did Winter get found out? Oh, Star goes all the way in the back line to pick that one up. Now looking to chase down on the Phantasma. Oh, gets booped out. Trying to keep up. Like, okay, we're just going to recall on out of here. There's that overclock out of Buckethead, but a Terror Surge thrown in from Gap might just be the difference maker. Ooh, Nick pulls out a late Dragon Blade as well, just to make sure they can secure this fight. So, ends up being 3 ults invested into this one. But there's a couple more coming up online. Very close. Less than 3 meters separates the two teams.
Personne n'échappe à mon regard.
Sights from Winter. We do have this Kitsune Rush here to work with, which I think is gotta be what Boot Trooper looking to set up. Oh, there goes Star, and immediately takes so much damage they have to primal like off the first jump. Another 700 or so damage in. I think Star will just let that primal fade back out. Now we're gonna get the orbital rays thrown in on top of each other. Kitsune Rush thrown in, so double support ults here from Boot Trooper as they push in on the back of that. Exo's already picked up one. Star's picked up one. Boom Troop will win out this fight when it's all said and done. Does cost them both of those support ults to do it, but you got the orbital ray out on the other side. Is it enough for the lead? More importantly, is it enough for the checkpoint? Evan, thank you for the follow. Oh, Buckethead with a good pick off of Phantasma on the inside there. Now, oh, puts the rail into consequence. Star gets the finishing blow. The jump up to the top to prevent Gap from being able to retreat out. And that's just a very well-played fight. So, checkpoint and then some picked up here from Boop Troop as they round this corner. And they've got Buckethead in a position here with sights all the way back down towards spawn. Let's see if Winter can put a stop to this push. Takes one good shot. Oh, would have had the trace there if not for the bubble. Gap has made a swap over to a Junker Queen and takes Buckethead out of this fight. Now looking, see what they can do on to Star. We'll get him at least forced back. Now he's gonna peel. Regroup with the team as Amplify stabilize here. Ooh, where did that shot come from? There's the primal. That's going to get the rally out here from Ghost. Star ends up falling over in a heap of monkey. Oh, Winter, that's a good shot up to that high ground. Finds a kill onto Exo. And this is the opportunity the Amplify needed. They don't give up too much of a lead. It's definitely attainable here. I feel like they're going to need to win another fight, though. So a very important fight coming up here for Amplify with a couple of ults to work with and a couple more not too far behind. Gap is going to go ahead and drop down. Excuse me, that was Star dropping down. Amplify looking to try to play out of Cubby. They've rotated 2 up top, trying to get Winter in this position with the Infrasight. Get an early pick. Not finding anything yet. That's the one. Takes Exo down Sky. Just needed a little bit of that dome to peek around the corner. But Buckethead has an ultimate of their own. Finds a Juno in their own right. So we're at a deadlock 4v4. Both teams missing their Juno. As Buckethead heads up to the high ground. Nick finds one to tilt the balance. Ooh, able to recall out with just no health left whatsoever. That's a good pick there from Star. Finding a Winner on the back of this one. And Buckethead piles on another one on top of it. So, despite a back and forth there early in the fight, looks like Boop Troop are going to run away with the bot. Winner already with a great pick right out of the gate. So that's it. Star will get it to the Cubby. I think they're just going to back on out. Oh, I mean, Costa tried to come in here and see if they could find a kill on the back of that spear. But no such luck. Now Nick is giving pursuit to Star. Nope, never mind. The emerald gun on this skin looks really good. Rampage in the pocket. Orbital Ray, I mean, not super useful against a Rampage. And there goes the Ray into the middle of it. No healing available. The Suzu is there, but Exo doesn't get it. Exo too far in the air to receive the benefit. The cleanse off of that Suzu. Still, Star has managed to push forward amidst their Orbital Ray. Consequence will not survive that Terra Surgeon with 1 health winner. Not going to survive either. But there's the close spawns picked up from Gap, and immediately, ooh, instead of backing out, Gap actually was trying to pursue that kill. I think it was Constant that they were looking at. But they've got the close spawns for their teammates. And this is going to be a fight right here in the middle. 30 seconds to go. Looking pretty darn even in ultimates as well. They'll rally out. It goes to match the Kitsune Rush coming out from the other side. Tropic Jim was in an interesting position here on the outside, but does end up regrouping with Star in the middle. Throws the Kitsune Rush perpendicular across the middle of that point. Dodges the Pulse Bomb out of the back. But not a whole lot of push forward on the back of this Kitsune Rush. Phantasma with the rally in play. Winner with the FACEIT. Still nobody's been able to find a pick. Gap trying to push forward. Lands the knife, but can't land the axe. Now Constance managed to build up towards the Pulse, and Buckethead has an ultimate as well to try to win out this series. From the high ground, the headshot will find Phantasma. AKA Ghost looking to take the Juno down. Consequence falls. That's a headshot down onto the Tracer. The punch will end it. Will end the Tracer. Will end the map and the series. It's going to be a 3-0 here for Boop Troop. GG's all around. All right, there it is. The 3-0 in the bag. Oh. Hey, Amplify made it close. They fought tooth and nail. I mean, look at the stats there on that map. I mean, very, very close across the board. Tropic Jim, somebody said, remember that name, Tropic Jim. Tropic Jim had a fantastic map. Only 2 deaths. It's what was it, in the Brig roll? It was Exode who was on the Juno. Well done. Well done. As we take a look at our overview of how this one went down, it was a clean 2-0 there on Ilios. Kings Row was super close. Kings Row ends up with 5 seconds separating our 2 teams in time bank. Amplify actually having the lead as far as that time bank is concerned. But Boop Troop get a couple of great fight wins on the back of a clutch kill out of Buckethead. A clutch pair of kills, as a matter of fact. Definitely your play of the series. I think that's got to give MVP over to Buckethead just for that play. What a clutch move in a very tense situation. What made that so good was, I mean, that's the difference between us being at a tie game, you know, and Boop Troop just getting shut down, and we're moving into a 1-1. Amplify coming in with a lot more confidence, right? If they're able to full hold there, you know, if Buckethead does not make that play, Boop Troop does not get themselves into a favorable position on that point, I don't think. So that play completely turned the tide of the series, and what could have been looking at a 1-1 going into Colosseo, and what was a very close Colosseo. Maybe that little extra confidence is just what Amplify needed to win Colosseo, and suddenly we're looking at a 2-1 score with Amplify leading, if not for that play. So huge moves from Buckethead, and the most important timing possible. Gotta love it. GG's all around. All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for hanging out. I mean, that was a hell of a match. It was a good day. It was a good day. You know, we had a great match this morning. Let's go ahead and get this 3-0 into the books. That one's going into the ticker, into the bottom line. But we had Hypnos beating Gambit in a 3-1 this morning. Boop Troop coming in with this 3-0 here today. And what was their first? I feel like their first big test of the season. So Boop Troop are here to play. They're not just beating up on the people on the bottom of the standings. This is a good one here, moving up to 5-0. Great day for Overwatch Twitter and Jiggle Burger Esports. Couldn't have put it better myself. I'm going to leave you on that one. That's all I got for you, friends. Thank you so much for hanging out. Appreciate all the follows. Appreciate all the support. It means the world. Y'all be kind to each other. I'll see you in the next one. All right, bye, friends.